Let's be honest for a moment. Have you ever stood in front of your closet holding a pair of jeans and wondered, do these even work for me anymore? Maybe they once fit like a dream. Maybe they were your go-to, your feel-good jeans, but now they pinch in all the wrong places or they hang like they belong to someone else. And you think, is it me or is it the jeans? If this sounds familiar, you're not alone. After 50, fashion changes, our bodies change, but more importantly, our sense of self evolves. We're no longer dressing to impress anyone. We're dressing to express who we've become, but here's the tricky part. The fashion industry didn't exactly send us a memo, did it? Trendy jeans seem to be made for women half our age. The jeans we used to love don't feel right anymore. And the fitting room. It starts to feel like a battlefield where confidence quietly fades. But I'm here to tell you, you don't have to give up on jeans. You just have to learn a few truths no one has ever told you. Today, we're going to talk about the 8 most common jeans mistakes women over 50 make and how to fix them. Not by chasing trends, not by squeezing into something uncomfortable, but by choosing shapes, fabrics, and pairings that actually honor the woman you are now. Strong, stylish, sophisticated, because you don't need to look younger, you need to look like you at your absolute best. So grab your favorite cup of coffee, settle in, and let's rediscover jeans together. One elegant decision at a time. Let's talk about jeans, not the kind on a mannequin, not the ones you see on Instagram, but the kind you've loved, the kind you used to live in. And the kind that lately just don't feel like they used to. You know the moment, you pull out that favorite pair, the ones you've had for years, and you slide them on, but something's changed. They tug in places that once felt effortless. The waist doesn't sit right, the legs bunch. And when you turn to look in the mirror, something just doesn't feel like you anymore. So you ask yourself quietly, maybe not out loud, but in that voice inside. Did my body change too much, or did jeans just stop working for women like me? And here's the truth. You didn't outgrow jeans. You simply outgrew the kind of jeans that were never really made for the woman you are today. Because let's be honest, fashion doesn't often make space for women over 50. We see trends come and go. We walk into stores filled with crop tops, ultra-low rises, skinny this, balloon, that, none of it built for real lives and real bodies. And jeans, they used to be our friend. They were comfort, ease, freedom, but lately they feel like a compromise. That's why today we're not just talking about denim. We're talking about dignity. About taking back something that once made us feel strong, casual, beautiful without apology. We're talking about reclaiming jeans on our terms. And we begin with the first, most common mistake. The return of low-rise jeans and why you should leave them behind. Low-rise jeans are having a comeback. Again, like a song on repeat that never quite hit the right note to begin with. Do you remember the early 2000s? Back when everything sat low, too low. When jeans barely clung to your hips and sitting down meant hoping nothing slipped out of place. Sure, they were trendy, they were everywhere. But were they flattering, comfortable, supportive? Not really. And yet here they are again, back in fashion magazines, back on store shelves. But just because they're back in style doesn't mean they belong in your style, especially not now. Because let's break it down, low-rise jeans cut right across the widest part of most women's midsection, the hips. That means the waistband doesn't support you. It slices across your shape, creating the dreaded muffin top, even on a slim frame. They make the legs look shorter. They emphasize the stomach. They invite discomfort with every step and every sit. And more importantly, they whisper a quiet lie that your body should still fit a trend designed for someone 25 years younger. But here's the shift. You're not here to fit into anything anymore. You're here to choose what fits you. A better option, high-rise and mid-rise jeans that love you back. There's something powerful about slipping on a pair of jeans that fits just right, not tight, not pinched, not I can button them if I hold my breath. I mean right, that moment when the waistband sits softly at your natural waist. When your legs look longer, your silhouette smoother. When you realize, oh, this is what it's supposed to feel like. That's the magic of high-rise jeans. They hug, not squeeze. They support, not dig. They highlight your waist instead of hiding it. If high-rise feels intimidating, don't worry. You can start with a mid-rise, something that sits just below the belly button but still gives that secure, flattering hold. What matters most is how you feel in them, because here's the truth. The jeans you choose shouldn't ask you to shrink, twist, or hold anything in. They should let you breathe. and they should remind you every time you walk by the mirror that your body is still worthy of celebration. Why cut and color matter more than you think. Now, once you've got the right rise, let's talk about cut and color. Forget the ultra skinny styles that leave no room to move. Forget wide flares that swallow your shape. What you want, what most women over 50 truly shine in, is a straight leg or slim straight cut. This shape creates balance from hip to ankle. It flatters without clinging. And best of all, it works with everything from loafers to heels to ankle boots. Pair that with a dark wash, think indigo, black, or deep gray, and suddenly your jeans become a foundation. Polished, sleek, timeless, not trendy, not loud. Just right, and that's where real elegance lives, in the things that fit without forcing. One story, one transformation. Let me tell you about Linda. She's 61, smart, stylish, and like many of us, fed up with jeans that made her feel invisible. She came to me saying, "I don't know what happened. I used to live in jeans, but lately they just make me feel off, uncomfortable, like I'm trying too hard." We took one afternoon. We tried on maybe 5 pairs, all high-rise. All classic cuts, all a little outside the usual fast fashion traps. She looked in the mirror, and for the first time in years she smiled, not because she looked younger, but because she looked like herself. She said, "I didn't know jeans could still feel this way, like I'm me again." And I said, "That's because you stopped trying to wear jeans that weren't made for you anymore. Let this be the beginning. You don't need to settle. Not for tight waistbands, not for uncomfortable fabric, not for trends that ignore the depth and beauty of your current season. You deserve jeans that work with your life, your movement, your comfort, your energy. Jeans that say, 'I know who I am,' not 'I'm trying to be someone I used to be.' So let's say goodbye to low-rise, let's say goodbye to pretending, and let's say yes to jeans that celebrate the woman you are now. Because fashion may forget us sometimes, but we never have to forget ourselves. Let's take a deep breath, because now that we've said goodbye to low-rise jeans, it's time to talk about another style choice that might be quietly stealing your elegance. Distressed denim. You've seen it. You've probably owned it. Rips at the knees. Frayed hems, whiskering, holes in places that, let's be honest, were never really meant to be there. And if we're being real, there was a time when those jeans felt bold, cool, maybe even a little rebellious. Like you were saying, "I'm still young. I've still got edge," and you know what? That moment mattered. It served its purpose. You lived through it, you rocked it, and it gave you the confidence you needed then. But here's the question, does it still serve you now? Because style after 50 isn't about chasing youth. It's about standing in your power, wearing your years with pride, and dressing in a way that says, "I know exactly who I am." The problem with distressed denim, it's not that it's bad. It's that it's not you anymore. Let's be very clear. There's no age where you can't wear something. But there comes a time when you realize you don't want it anymore. Because ripped jeans often carry an energy that contradicts what you've spent decades building. Grace, wisdom, ease, intentionality. Distressed denim can feel chaotic, messy, unfinished. And when you've worked so hard to feel centered in your own skin, why wear something that sends the opposite message? This isn't about being boring. This is about being in control. The rips, the holes, they draw attention to themselves, not to you, not to your beautiful posture, your calm presence, your quiet confidence. And in a world that already tends to overlook women over 50, why give it another excuse to focus on your jeans instead of your essence? What happens when you swap worn out for well-made? Let's shift the energy. Take a moment and imagine yourself in a pair of jeans with a clean, structured line. No holes, no frays, just beautifully tailored denim in a deep indigo or classic black. It hugs your waist, skims your hips, lengthens your legs. Now picture pairing it with a silk blouse in a soft blush or ivory tone, maybe a pair of pointed flats or sleek ankle boots, a delicate chain at the collarbone, a watch you've worn for years. Tell me, do you look older? No. You look elevated, because elegance isn't loud. It doesn't shout for attention, it whispers, "I've arrived." The case for clean denim and why it always works. Let me tell you something I tell every woman who walks into my studio. Trendy fades, but clean always stays. You can wear clean denim anywhere, lunch with friends, a date night, a meeting, a weekend drive, and every time it looks intentional. You're not trying too hard. You're not fading into the background either. You're simply there, in your skin, in your power. So if you've been holding onto those ripped jeans thinking they're the only way to keep your look fresh, let me offer something better, subtle detail. Instead of distressing, look for a raw edge hem, not frayed, just softly unfinished. Tonal stitching that adds visual interest without noise. A small side slit at the ankle. A slightly cropped cut to show a bit of skin. These little elements say, I know fashion, but they also say, I know myself, and isn't that the goal? A real moment, letting go of the rips. I once worked with a client named Valerie. She was 64, energetic, creative. Still active in her design career. She came to me in her favorite distressed jeans, knee holes, raw hems, even a bleach spot or two, she said. I wear these because they make me feel like I haven't lost my edge. But then she paused. Truthfully, I don't love how I feel in them anymore. They just feel like I'm trying, so we tried something new. We kept the same silhouette, slim, ankle length, but swapped in a pair with a rich navy tone. Soft stretch. Subtle raw hem, no holes, just clean. She slipped them on, looked in the mirror, and her whole body softened. Oh, I don't look old. I look clear, exactly, because elegance isn't about looking young. It's about looking you clearly, simply, without distraction. The bigger message, you're allowed to evolve. There's no shame in having loved distressed jeans. They were part of your story, part of a chapter where edge and attitude helped you stand taller. But maybe now you don't need the attitude anymore. Maybe now you just want the ease. Maybe now your confidence doesn't come from proving anything. It just is. That's the beauty of this age. You no longer dress to fit in. You dress to reflect who you are. And when you strip away the rips, the noise, the performance, you're left with something far more powerful, presence. Try this, style ideas that feel elegant, not overdone. Here are a few easy swaps you can try that bring style and sophistication. Instead of torny jeans with an oversized tee, try slim dark denim with a tucked-in linen blouse. Instead of frayed hems and flip-flops, try raw edge hem with ankle boots or pointed loafers. Instead of jeans with loud embroidery or patches, try jeans with sleek tonal stitching and a belt in soft lip. Instead of distressed boyfriend jeans, try straight-leg jeans cropped at the ankle with a blazer over a soft tee. These aren't rules. They're invitations to explore, to refine, to rediscover yourself without the noise. Final word for part 2. Your jeans tell a story, not of your age, but of your attitude. And when you choose jeans that are clean, refined, quietly confident, you're not dressing older, you're dressing wiser. Because you've learned that style isn't about shouting, it's about showing up with grace, with calm. With clothes that elevate you, not distract from you. So next time you reach for those ripped jeans from years ago, pause, ask yourself, is this who I am today? And if the answer is no, let them go. Because there's a version of you in clean, elegant denim, waiting to be seen. We all want to feel comfortable. Let's be honest, after 50, comfort is no longer optional. It's non-negotiable. We've earned it. We want clothes that move with us, not against us, that respect our changing bodies, that let us breathe. But somewhere along the way, comfort started getting confused with disappearing. And nowhere is that more obvious than with baggy, oversized jeans. The mistake, thinking bigger means better. You know the feeling. You try on a pair of fitted jeans, maybe too fitted. They pinch, they press, they remind you of everything you wish felt easier. So the natural instinct, go bigger, size up, grab the softest, roomiest pair you can find. And in the moment, it feels like relief, but then you catch your reflection. And instead of feeling relaxed, you feel swallowed, like your shape vanished, like your energy flattened. Like you're wearing something that hides who you are, not because you want to, but because you think you have to. Let me say this plainly, baggy jeans don't make you look casual. They make you look lost, not because of your age. Not because of your shape, but because they erase you, and you've come too far to be erased. What happens when we hide? Oversized clothing seems harmless, but when it becomes our default, especially in denim, it sends a message to the world and to ourselves that we no longer want to be seen. That comfort is more important than expression. That ease must come at the cost of elegance, but it doesn't have to be this way. There is a difference between clothing that lets you relax and clothing that lets you disappear. And after 50, you don't need to shrink, soften, or step back. You deserve to take up space. And you deserve jeans that help you do it beautifully. The right fit doesn't hug you, it follows you. Let's redefine the word fit. Forget skin tight, forget squeezed in. Forget any pair of jeans that makes you do squats in a fitting room just to stretch them out. Real fit is quiet, subtle, kind. It follows the lines of your body. Without clinging, without pressing, without needing to be yanked up every time you sit down. It's the difference between being held and being squeezed. The best jeans, they skim your silhouette, they move when you move. They honor your shape not by exaggerating it but by recognizing it. That's not baggy, that's not tight, that's balanced. Why straight leg and slim cuts are your best friend. If there's one cut I recommend to every woman over 50, it's the straight leg. Not skinny, not wide, just straight. Why? Because it creates visual balance. It flows from hip to ankle without tapering too much or ballooning out. It elongates the leg. It grounds the outfit. And it works with everything: flats, loafers, sneakers, heels, silk blouse or knit cardigan, date night or grocery run. The straight leg never fights with the rest of your outfit. It supports it. And if you're a little curvier, even better. Straight leg jeans lengthen and define without drawing attention to one specific area. You become a silhouette, not a series of separate parts. A note for petite and plus-size women. Yes, this applies to you too. For petites, go for a slightly cropped or ankle-length jean. Avoid cuffs or thick hems that cut your leg line. Let your shoes extend your frame. For curvier figures, choose a rise that sits comfortably at your waist. Look for a bit of stretch, but not too much. You want the jean to move with you, not lose shape by lunch. Don't shy away from tailoring. Sometimes the difference between meh and wow is just a hem or a tuck. Because jeans aren't supposed to fit off the rack, they're supposed to fit you. A story from the studio, finding her shape again. I worked with a woman named Elaine. She was 55, creative, warm, a bit reserved. And every single pair of jeans in her closet was at least 2 sizes too big. I just don't like to feel restricted, she said. But what she really meant, what she told me later, was this: I didn't want to feel judged. I didn't want anything tight enough to remind me of what's changed. So we tried a different approach. We found a pair of straight-leg mid-rise jeans with a soft indigo wash, not tight, just close. Close enough to say I still know who I am, far enough to feel easy, forgiving. She stood in front of the mirror, placed a hand on her hip, and said with a quiet smile, I forgot I had a waist. Not because the jeans created it, but because they revealed it again. Visual cues, the little things that matter. Here's a trick: the most flattering jeans end just at the ankle. Not dragging, not cropped halfway up the shin, right at the ankle. Why? Because they give your body a visual finish line. They create length, they keep the outfit light, not heavy. Pair that with a half-tucked blouse, a soft knit, a fitted blazer or cropped jacket. And suddenly, you're not dressing to hide. You're dressing to define, to remind yourself and the world that your shape didn't disappear. It was just waiting to be invited back into the room. Let's be clear, comfort and elegance can coexist. The fashion industry loves to make women choose youth or maturity, sexy or subtle, comfort or style, but we're done choosing. We want all of it. And we deserve it. Because the most elegant women I know, they don't wear baggy denim that hides their shape. And they don't wear jeans so tight they can't exhale. They wear jeans that say, I'm here and I'm not afraid to be seen. Not because they're trying to prove anything, but because they've already proven everything they needed to. Final word for part 3. Baggy jeans may feel safe, but they're not honest. They cover more than your body, they cover your light. And the truth is, you don't have to disappear to feel comfortable. You just have to choose pieces that support your body now. Not the body you had, not the body you wish for, but the one you live in today. This is not about skinny jeans, this is about soft structure, gentle confidence. The power of subtle clarity. So next time you reach for something oversized just to be comfortable, ask yourself, do I feel more like myself or less? If the answer is less, let's find something that brings you back to you. Let's pause for a moment. We've talked about the rise, we've talked about the cut, we've talked about color, fabric, and fit. But none of that matters if we don't talk about this. Elegance is not just how you look in jeans. It's how you feel in them. Because the real elegance, it doesn't come from a brand, it doesn't come from a seam, and it definitely doesn't come from following fashion rules designed for someone else's body. It comes from knowing yourself. From the quiet confidence that builds not in your 20s, but in your 50s, your 60s, and beyond. Elegance isn't loud, it's present. We've been taught that in order to be seen, we need to sparkle, that beauty means effort, that youth means relevance, and that growing older means fading quietly into the background. But here's the truth you might not hear enough: you are more visible now than ever before. not because of your clothes, but because of your clarity. Your wisdom, your unapologetic ability to walk into a room and no longer need approval. The jeans you wear, they're just the frame, you are the portrait, and the more simply and intentionally you dress, the more you allow your presence to speak first. What happens when you stop dressing to hide? Do you remember the first time you wore a piece of clothing that made you feel whole, not beautiful in the way someone else defines it, but beautiful because you felt at ease? Like the outside finally matched the inside, that's what we're really after. Not jeans that follow trends, but jeans that follow you, that reflect the softness you've learned, the boundaries you've earned, the boldness you've discovered in choosing peace over performance. When your clothes stop trying to fix you, you realize you were never broken. The power of clothing as a mirror. Let's think differently about jeans for a moment. Not as just denim, but as a metaphor, because the right jeans don't just flatter your body, they affirm your identity. They remind you that style isn't about shrinking, it's about choosing how you want to feel. Choosing how you want to move through your day, choosing to stop apologizing for taking up space. They're not just pants, they're an act of return, a return to center, to joy, to ease. To that quiet voice that says, you still get to feel good about yourself, today, right now, as you are, a story to hold close. Let me tell you about Sharon. She's 67, silver hair cropped close, sharp, stunning glasses, and a presence that fills a room not with volume but with grace. She told me, I used to wear jeans that made me invisible because I thought I was supposed to disappear. Now I wear jeans that remind me I'm still here. And when she walked out in a pair of dark wash, straight-leg jeans, an ivory blouse tucked just slightly, a leather belt that defined not squeezed, and a pair of suede loafers, I didn't see her jeans, I saw her. The jeans were just the frame, she was the masterpiece, and so are you. You don't need permission anymore. You don't need to follow every fashion rule. You don't need to look put together every second of the day. You don't need to pretend you're younger than you are. You've earned the right to wear what makes you feel powerful. And when that's a pair of clean, classic, well-fitted jeans, then wear them like a woman who owns her life, because you do. A gentle reminder just between us. You are allowed to be seen, even in denim, even on a Tuesday, even when you're not trying. You're allowed to wear jeans that fit, not just your body, but your moment, your chapter, your mood. And when you find that pair, that one that hugs just right, moves when you move, makes you smile without needing to be convinced, hold on to it, not just because it looks good, but because it reminds you of something you may have forgotten. You're still beautiful, not because you're flawless, but because you're real, and real is always elegant. Final thought. So what now? You walk into your closet. You take everything you've learned about fit, fabric, shape, color, energy, and you ask the one question that matters most. Does this help me feel more like myself? If yes, wear it. If not, let it go, because elegance isn't about owning more. It's about choosing better, choosing with care, choosing with clarity, and choosing you every time.